We do have a good time, and we've just agreed that we just can't even look at ourselves in the camera. It's fine.
It's
whatever
happens.
whatever it is, it is. All right. All right. More Mona Lisa Leaf. Take 452. Action.
This stuff is typically, I think, thought of or used for home decor. A lot of frames, a lot of on furniture and those kind of things. So the way that you use it is pretty unique. And certainly the way that we're using it in this video is nothing like what you might expect to see this kind of leaf used as. And I think that that's one of the nice things is that we can explore other options to take maybe a more traditional art material and explode it into mixed media.
There's nothing more fun than exploding art materials.
It's only when they blow up in your face that it's a problem.
With a footnote of mixed media, yes. Yeah, so the some of the research that I've done on this, a lot of people use it for adding gold or metallic gilding to frames, ornate picture frames.
Right.
So it goes down into all those little spaces of ornate raised relief because it's not on a backing, so it's loose.
It's malleable.
And thin and flaky, and it just goes down in there good. But I don't want gold gilded frames for any purpose. So we used it for mixed media. So I'm going to show you how I did this, but look at this crazy goodness. This is the Deco Foil, holographic foil on top of the Mona Lisa leaf.
And you worked in silver, which is not a traditional colorway for you, and you decided that you absolutely love this.
I absolutely love this.
Gold more than silver, but who knew, right?
Yeah, gold and copper is always my favorite, and I even said to Barb, I don't want to deal with the silver. I don't like silver, and then I used it because I like to try different things. But yeah, it's got like a sterling silver kind of fun play on two metallics together. So, and I say this in the video, but I can't say this enough. I'm doing this on a piece of paper just to show you the application process, but you can apply it to all kinds of different things. Journals, note cards. Yeah, I'm using it in the background of my mixed media artwork on a wood panel, and I apply it directly to the wood panel. So I apply the adhesive, and then the Mona Lisa leaf, and then the Tacky-When-Dry-Gel, and then the Deco Foil, all directly on my substrate before I add my subject. So yeah, that's how I do it. And I think you're going to find it very versatile in how you can use it, especially also with what you did. I mean, I'm very inspired by what you did because it's more, it's really organic.
So this is just kind of an organic application of the Tacky-When-Dry, and I used a variety of the different flakes on it. And then I stuck it on a journal page. That's actually the bottom of the page, but it's easier to show this way.
It's the top now.
It is. We hope that you're inspired to use your materials, in this particular case, the leafing stuff, in a whole different way because it's fun to experiment and try.
Yeah, and I have to also show you this. So what I find really beautiful about this is there's big chunks and small chunks. So there's a variety of sizes of pieces, and there's also a variety of color, so copper, gold, silver, and the variegated. But it really gives you an organic feeling with those different size chunks. And I'm thinking a swatch of this behind your subject in mixed media could be really cool.
That would be cool.
A swatch of it in the background, just randomly in an organic way. So I'm excited about this as well as my fabulous silver situation. So
silver situation.
Yeah.
We're big on the alliteration today.
Yeah, I love alliteration.
Shall we go do it?
Yeah, let's go do it.
All right. As Elizabeth and I were contemplating what other things we could do with the metal leafing sheets and the flakes, we started to think about a variety of different things. One of them, I had the bright idea of putting Tacky-When-Dry-Gel medium through a stencil and using the leafing flakes on that, and I tried that. And even though this is a fairly large opening, it just didn't work. So failures happen, and it's never a bad thing for us to show them to you. First of all, it helps you avoid them. But secondly, there's this misconception that everything we do is fantastic, and that's not really the truth. So here's a little bit of honesty. This one didn't work. But what I decided instead, if I laid down some of the Tacky-When-Dry-Gel medium in a swath or free form or whatever I wanted to do, then it gave me the opportunity to use the flakes in a way that gave me this really organic look. So it was really actually pretty simple to do. This is just a tag because this is what I'm playing on. So Tacky-When-Dry, gel medium. Oops, sorry.
With a lowercase w.
Let it go, sister. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create this very organic path. This is, honestly, that's all I did. Now I'm gonna put that to one side and let it dry because you don't need to watch gel medium dry.
And you used the palette knife.
Yeah, I like the palette knife for this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to cover a bigger area, you could use a credit card or a room key card, one of those kind of things. It certainly will give you a bigger swath at once. So through the magic of, I planned this ahead of time, I have this ready to go, and it is at a place. Now this was done on Distress Oxide Spray background. So you can see that the moisture in the Tacky-When-Dry has activated that, which is what you can see here. This is dry, so it's ready to go. I mean, it's sticky, but originally when I was doing these, I started to lay the flakes down and rub them with my fingers, and I thought, well, this is not really much fun. And then I realized I had some on the table, and I started to do this. So what's important, you have to be working on something nonstick, whether it's the nonstick craft sheet from Ranger that we sell in the pre-cut pieces or by the foot, which allows you to cover a big surface like we have here. So I've got Metal Leaf in gold and Metal Leaf in copper that I'm just gonna kind of throw out here. And then I have some of the variegated. And I'm gonna just do this willy-nilly, and however it lands is however it lands. So there it is, it's kind of spread out. And I'm gonna just turn this over and tap. Now you can hear that it's sticky. And I've already, how cool is that? I've got some stuff going on there. So all I'm gonna do is rub this with my fingers to adhere it and help take off the bits that are loose. Sometimes you might need to use just the edge of your nail to kind of pick that up. And then it's just a question of letting this do its thing. It's not difficult at all. It takes a minute, you know, but good things come to those of us who are willing to put in a minute or two. And then you get, like I said, this really nice organic freeform swath of shimmery, shiny color. The leaf is so unique in this mirror-like finish that it provides that it's just a really nice product to work with. So again, now, you know, I'm not gonna make you watch me do the whole thing. That's just silly. But I can pick this up and come back and I can rub it, and I'll come back and I can fill in these other areas. And honestly, you wanna do that because if you don't, this is tacky, if you don't fill them in, they are gonna stick to each other. So obviously you don't want that to happen. So you just take a minute and you cover this all up. And you get, this is the ability to add this organic shape of whatever happens to your backgrounds, and it gives you an opportunity to use the leaf in a very different way and give yourself some interesting things to work with. This becomes part of a larger background that I can add figures to. I could, you know, I could put some text on here. I could come in with stencils and do some work up at the top. Anything that I want to do with the addition of the nice shine that you get from the metallic flakes.
Today I have a multi-step process for you that I am going to demonstrate on a piece of paper, but it is something that I use in my artwork directly onto the substrate in backgrounds. It's a technique that I've been incorporating into backgrounds lately, and for ease of demonstration I'm going to show you on the paper, but you could certainly do it on any kind of different substrate, canvas board, whatever you work on. So anyway, I found out, because of necessity is the mother of invention, we didn't have a paintbrush. So I actually found out that it's a whole lot easier to do this with the brayer. So I've got a sheet of my Yasutomo sketch rice paper pad 9x12, and I have Deco Foil liquid adhesive. And this adhesive is thick. So I put it out on the gel plate. Hopefully it's not empty. Right? There we go.
Wow, that was a blob.
Yeah. So then I roll it out with the brayer. And that is going to give me a nice even coat on this sheet of paper. So this is a 6-inch brayer. Speedball also makes 1.5 and 2-inch brayers if you're working in a small area directly on your substrate, or if you're working on a smaller piece of paper or a smaller gel plate. So you're going to want to rinse this off your brayer before it dries, because it's going to be very sticky, but it's water soluble and it comes off real easy with warm water. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the paper into the adhesive, and this is giving me a nice even coat of Deco Foil adhesive on this sheet of paper or whatever surface you want to work on. So I've got a full flood of that adhesive, and now I'm just gonna let it dry for a few minutes. And my next step is that I'm going to be applying silver metal leaf to that whole sheet of paper, just like I would to the background of my mixed media artwork. So the Speedball metal leaf, it's going to come in a booklet like this with little divider pages, and the loose leaf sheets are in between. So what's unique about this way to apply the leaf versus on the transfer papers is it gives you some texture and kind of a variegated surface. It's not quite so flat and smooth, and I'm kind of enjoying that. So I'm going to take this and line it up as best I can with that corner of the paper. And then because it's not on a transfer paper or perfectly flat, you get this lovely kind of swirly texture as it glues down. And this little piece, you can put the little pieces that brush off back into the adhesive. So let's see. The goal is for me to cover this whole sheet, or for you to cover your whole background area that you're working on. And for the excess like this, I'm just gonna pull that off of there and maybe put it over here. No, or not. Let's go back to another full sheet.
Yes, why torture yourself? There's a whole package full there.
Right. Okay, so see, there's a little brush off, so I can take this little piece that I had on the side there and get it, because the adhesive is there, it just didn't stick. So that's what the little side pieces are good for, patches. Like here I missed a little strip, so I'll pull this in. And just press it down and brush it off. Okay. And we just have a little bit left.
Just like magic.
Just like magic, and it's the whole sheet, or your whole background, or whatever you're doing. So you can sweep this up into a baggie to save the little pieces if you want to use them for something else. You can wipe them up with a wet paper towel and put them in the trash. You can pick them up with a piece of tape and put them in the trash, however you want to do it. I just want to make sure there's no loose pieces on here. Make sure that everything's adhered down. Okay, and then my next step is a second layer of reflective material, but I'm gonna use in this layer the Gina K Fancy Foils, and this is gonna be silver sequins. So I'm gonna add a holographic patterned silver on top of my base layer of silver. So I'm gonna do silver on silver. Of course, you don't have to do that. You can see that this foil comes in a lot of different colors, so you could put a reflective color on your silver. But I'm just going for like a subtle element. Like I said, I would use this in a background, so I don't want it to be too busy, but it does give me a tone-on-tone pattern. So I'm gonna be using Tacky-When-Dry-Gel medium. It's in disguise because there's no label on it. This is one of the Art Nouveau series of stencils and masks. I chose it because it has sort of a medium spaces in it, and I thought it would be a great pattern for this, for a background to be, again, not super duper busy, but interesting enough. So I'm gonna spread the Tacky-When-Dry-Gel medium with a palette knife through the stencil onto the surface of that silver, and then the waiting happens. You have to wait for this stuff to dry. You can dry it with a heat gun or a hair dryer. I put my sheet outside and it blew down the driveway and picked up a bunch of bugs and dirt. So there's that, but we're gonna use it anyway, Barb.
Yes, we are.
So I'm just spreading it like butter, like frosting a cake, all through the openings, and I like to scrape it over the top so it's a low relief. That takes a little less time to dry when you're not spreading it super thick. Also, this is a stencil that's easy to spread it over because it doesn't have any spirals or areas that are gonna pick up or resist the palette knife. Now, those designs of stencils still work. They just take a little bit more care. And so for the purpose of demonstrating, I'm going with the easy one. So I'm scraping off the extra over the top. I don't need to make you watch me do this whole thing, but I really want to make this paper.
We'll indulge you.
Yeah, I really want to take this paper home with me when we're done here. So, and if I don't finish it here, I'll never finish it, Barb.
Well, then you must finish it.
It's one of those things, you know? Okay, here we go. So that's good. You can scrape off the extra into the container. You want to wash off your palette knife and your stencil pretty quickly so that the sticky stuff doesn't make a big mess. This washes off real easy, warm water in the sink. So we're going to pull this, and here we have that beautiful continuous pattern over the whole sheet of Mona Lisa Metal Leaf. All right. So I'm going to set this aside. Again, you can let it be patient and let it dry, or use a hairdryer or a heat gun, or put it in the driveway, risking the bugs and the other stuff. Okay, so now I have one. This is the one that I already did. All right, so it's dry and it's ready to go. And I'm gonna take that fancy foil. And for the foil, you're gonna put the side that you wanna see facing up. So this is gonna face me. I'm gonna put that down here. It's holographic, so it's mainly silver. I'm using my Baron to press this down. We have found in the past that works really well. I mean, it reads as silver, but it has a lot of other color in it, which is really beautiful. So let's see. I'm gonna do this one this way. Okay, come on.
Fumbly fingers.
So if I see stuff on the transfer sheet that hasn't attached to the glue, then I just give it more pressure, and then I can see here that it's removed. So again, if it doesn't remove all the way, you can use the fronts of your fingernails, you can use the Baron, you can use the bowl of a spoon. We've had all kinds of ways of making this foil release, haven't we?
We have
In the projects we've done.
Yep.
But it's very clear. You can see, either you can see on the transfer paper that there's still foil, or you see here that it's not making a good contact. So, and you can always come back after the fact and add another sheet of transfer foil. If you feel sticky spots, you can press a new foil down onto the sticky spots. So it's not as though once we pull this up, we never have another opportunity to add the foil to it. So that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, see, that's just amazing.
It's just so beautiful. So it's the Deco, the Gina K Fancy Foil, also made by Deco Foil, with the holographic and everything on top of the Mona Lisa Metal Leaf silver. So it's two different silvers, and they just work so nicely together. Look at this. This is like a disco ball, Barb.
You're right, that's exactly
It's like
what
a
I
totally
said.
like a disco ball. I'm gonna put this in a disco painting.
There you go. Something
So-
like John Travolta?
Yeah, something with John Travolta. So remember, I demonstrated this on paper, but you can do it on all kinds of different substrates, and I just love it.
Yeah.
So that's all we have to say about Mona Lisa Leaf today.
Mona Lisa Metal Leaf.
Oh yeah, but all the L's in there was good.
I know. It's a combination.
Yeah.
We hope that you can find some way to incorporate these techniques into what you create, whether it's journals or you're doing paintings or collage like Elizabeth does. There's plenty of applications for all of this stuff.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun to play with, and it's I think it's pretty reasonably priced. So it's
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not
There's
like-
a lot of leaf in those packages.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
flakes in that bag. It doesn't look like much, but it goes a long
Yeah,
way.
it goes a long way for sure. So anyway, have fun playing with it.
Yeah.
Hope we've inspired you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.